Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with that journal that I showed in a recent video. This is one of the journals that I have been hoarding. We were just kind of looking at, you know, journals that you can't kind of quite bring yourself to actually get rid of after you've made them. And this one was one that I'd actually made for myself. So, I mean, that's obviously, you know, part of the reason why I didn't want to get rid of this one. But when I kind of looked through it, it's got a very scrappy feel, and obviously, you know, kind of over the time my style's kind of evolved and, you know, moved away from this kind of feel quite a lot, really. And I thought, wow, I actually had really a lot of fun making this journal. I'm sorry, I'm just picking my address off of this envelope. Yeah, I actually had quite a lot of fun making this journal, and I thought, well, actually, let's come back and do a similar kind of thing. Now, I have to say, when I say similar, I'm suspecting that this is actually probably going to turn out nothing like it. But, oh dear, I'm already kind of digressing and already moving away from what we're doing. But no, what I'm meaning by similar, I just mean very eclectic and using kind of anything and everything that's on the desk. Because that was how I predominantly kind of created this, was just, you know, just grabbing any old stuff. So I'm going to try and do that, I think, in a journal. So I have got one of these Amazon packaging. Now, I made another journal from Amazon packaging recently. This is like the envelope packaging. So rather than those wraparound ones, this is a kind of more cardboard like envelope / pouch. So I'm just going to take this, or undo this. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Right. Okay. It's honestly, no sooner do I press record than I have a phone call. So, right. So I have got this obviously as our cover. Now, just whilst I was on the phone, I was kind of digging out papers and things, kind of getting ready. So I have got a bunch of, these are magazine pages, which I have painted. Now, I did this a long time ago. Because I really like using the painted magazine pages. I think it's a brilliant way to use them up. And they have like literally a, I was going to say magical feel, but of course that's not really quite correct. But they have a very, very soft, beautiful feel to them. So, you know, I really like using things like this in my journals, and I've made a few journals using magazine pages. So I have got a bunch of these which I have ready prepped. Now, I do have a video on my channel. It is in my Let's Make a Holiday junk journal. It is in that playlist, how I actually painted the magazine pages. I mean, obviously it's not rocket science. You know, it's just painting basically. But if you wanted just any tips and things like that, then that's contained in that playlist. So, you know, do go and check it out if you want to kind of see a bit more information. But yes, they are just basically standard magazine pages, nothing particularly special or, you know, exciting about them. So I'm going to use those as my pages. That's what I used, I think, in, you know, in my actual journal that I, you know, that we're kind of mimicking, the scrappy journal. So I'm just going to cut this down. Now I'm going to cut the flap type pieces off. So like that, and obviously on this side. Like that. Okay. Oops. Like that. And then what we're going to do is take our magazine pages, and this cover is obviously going to be massive compared to this. So I just want to take it down probably to about here. So, I mean, again, just being very rough and ready, no measuring going on here or anything. We're making a scrappy journal after all. We're not trying to make a masterpiece. We're not trying to, you know, yeah, make anything that's really, you know, perfect or, you know, going to be for sale in a, you know, gallery or anything like that. It's just going to be a scrappy journal, basically. So, you know, actually the more rough and ready, the better, hopefully, anyway. So that is my pages. Now I'm just going to kind of bundle them up, and then we might include a couple of other pages in here, but I'm not sure. So we'll just see if these overhang. Oh, they do, just a fraction. So I'm going to have to just take them down slightly. So I really like this kind of edge where they've been torn out from the magazine. So I'm going to avoid using that edge, and I'm going to take them down on the other edge, so that hopefully I keep that, you know, that magazine torn type edge there, because I think that's rather nice. So So just like that. And then just cut those down. Okay. Right, okay. And then just want to see whether we want to mix in anything else. So I've got here some of that handmade paper. This is from the lovely stuff that I was sent by Taperology. So I'm kind of thinking we might be able to mix in a couple of, you know, a couple of random size pages in amongst this. So yeah, let's do that. So maybe like that one, and then this here, which is again some more of that pretty paper from Taperology. So I'll just pop that in here like that. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be my, you know, my basic journal. Now, can't remember. Ooh, what have I done with my original journal? Honestly, I'm so out of the zone. I haven't done anything like this in this kind of really scrappy way for such a long time. It's really hard to remember kind of even, you know, where I started, how I kind of started with this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just literally stitching my signature in. So I'm going to just stitch these pages in like this, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm back and I've bound my journal. Now I just did it with the usual 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So, you know, nothing kind of interesting there. It's nothing that, you know, I haven't done kind of on film before. So, you know, hence I didn't want to kind of waste everyone's time doing it. Now I have to say I've made not a very good job of doing it. I have ended up stitching it, mis-stitching it. I was kind of on the phone. I had another phone call and yeah, I ended up kind of mis-stitching it. But anyway, it's fine. Just going to go with it and just, you know, embrace it as it is. So what I'm going to do is, obviously in my original scrappy journal, I had used a lot of sheet music, you know, just kind of like putting on the pages, just some sheet music, a combination of sheet music and book page, you know, to kind of fill in the background. So I'm going to kind of do some of that. Now, I have to be honest, I've got obviously these days a lot of printables and things like that, because that's, you know, predominantly what I have a lot of now. So I'm going to kind of use things like that to fill in, just because, you know, I want to kind of use up some of the things that I've got laying around on my desk. So for instance here, I'm just going to take some of this and just, you know, just fill in some of my bits and pieces. So I'm just going to glue in just randomly around. So I'm just going to put some on the front cover, and then I might jump sort of ahead a few pages and put some more of this, because, you know, the thing I do still want to do is, even though I'm doing a scrappy journal, I do still want some form of continuity going through it. So I don't want it to just be like really random, you know, weird bunch of stuff. I mean, that's fine, but yeah, I prefer that I have some sort of cohesive feel, albeit a lot of things, if that makes sense, rather than just, wow, where on earth has that come from, you know, with like no relevance to anything else that's going on. So for instance, this piece, I can just jump on through, you know, and then glue this kind of maybe on one of the magazine sheets. So let's just tear that down. Oops. Get rid of those edges there. Okay. So, you know, I'm just going to even leave like the squared off edges as my, you know, edges of the paper, and just put them on like that. Now, the other thing is my original scrappy journal, I mean, it had lots and lots of stapled pieces and things like that. You know, I didn't really kind of have anything very sophisticated or neat or anything like that going on. So again, I'm going to try and embrace that sort of theme. I'm not going to get too panicked, you know, with, oh, I must be neat or I must be this. I mean, not that I do very often anyway, but yeah, I'm going to just embrace the scrappy, you know, because I think that's kind of, you know, really nice, is just embracing the scrappy type vibe. So just using up some of these papers. So, I mean, these are brilliant for using up some of your scraps, because obviously, you know, I am just pulling in anything and everything from the desk. So here straight away, we've got rid of like an entire sheet of paper, which, you know, that feels like a victory, doesn't it, to us as junk journalists. Now, I have got this portion. I'm probably going to leave that off because that would feel like it's, you know, quite fussy in comparison with, you know, everything else that I'm going to be going for. So, you know, because I want these bits to just blend into the background, I don't want anything too, you know, like in your face type style. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave that cherub type pattern I'm going to leave off. So this one we can just pop down here. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. Right. So just glue in lots of bits of paper now. Okay. So that's the first sheet. Now I've also got some of this, which again can just, you know, use a bit of this. It's kind of similar colours. I mean, we have got a little bit of blue on here. Again, you know, that's fine. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and just embrace what's here. So do we want all of that? Probably doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, perhaps we'll have this on this sheet here. Okay. Oops. Because then what I'm going to do is, you know, what I had done on the original one was I did some scrappy painting over the top of everything that I've put in. So we will do that probably after we've put everything into the journal. So yeah, that's going to be the bit that takes a little bit of courage because, you know, you've put everything in and, you know, you're then going to effectively very scrappily paint over stuff. So you're just hoping for the best then, that you're not going to actually ruin everything that you've put in. But you just have to have a bit of faith and hope, you know, hope it's going to look okay by the end. So yeah, I'm going to kind of do that. So mine here, I'm just going to put this piece down here. Okie dokie. And I find, you know, that by jumping through the journal, you know, rather than doing it in any form of, you know, organised order, this is going to help you get the cohesive feel. Because obviously, like this sheet of paper, I've now got a little bit of this towards the front and I've got a little bit towards the back. If I had obviously just gone in with this, you know, in an order, in a certain order, then it might have been a high chance that I would have actually not had enough to have put more into the journal somewhere else. So, you know, this is quite a good way, I think, just to ensure that you're getting a, you know, a flow of similar things through the journal. And I know that we've talked about this before, you know, the benefits of jumping randomly back and forth, rather than, you know, in a consecutive order, or I don't know, consecutive is the right word, but yeah, rather than doing it like page 1, page 2, page 3, that is not the best way when you're mixing a lot of different things to get a good mix, because you're going to end up, or, you know, not going to, but potentially you could end up with, you know, different things and then running out of them before you've finished. You know, here, for example, I've used a lot of this paper. I have now run out of this paper by the middle. Luckily for me, I've got another sheet, so I can pull in again. If I didn't have another sheet, all of that paper would have been finished towards the front of the book. Which just, for me, I feel like that's a bit weird then, because I've got lots of that pattern going on, and then suddenly it just comes to a grinding halt, which, you know, that's just a bit odd, I think. So, you know, it's personal choice. But yeah, for me, I think definitely a good way to get a bit of balance or a bit of cohesion is jump around using like the same sheet of paper all in different places. Unless, of course, you're looking to have that look of, you know, a flow, sort of similar things in one place, and then, you know, going through, you're going to get similar things somewhere else. You know, in which case, obviously, continue on your own, you know, in your own way, because that would be probably the best way to do it. But yeah, if you're wanting to have a sort of, you know, a flow of some kind, then I think personally this is quite a good way to get that flow going. But, you know, I mean, ultimately, you know, it's of course your journal, and, you know, you must do what works for you. I just have noticed that over the years, this for me seems to work in that I get lots of bits that will flow really well, because, you know, every so often I'll have a page that has similar bits to a page that we saw earlier. And it's like, oh yes, we've got that same paper. Oh yes, we've got that same fabric. We've got that same lace. You know, those types of things, which obviously if you didn't do this method, you might not have that. And, you know, that's fine, because you might not be going for that. But if you are, then this is a good way, I find, to, you know, to achieve that. So, like that. Okay, looking good. Same here. I'm not going to bother with that cherub because that feels a little bit too, you know, too bright, and it's going to take over and dominate everything that's on there. So again, just going to take down this little sort of section here, and we can just then glue this on somewhere. So yeah, maybe even maybe here. I mean, I do notice that I seem to have done most things on the right-hand pages, so that's a bit of a sort of falling down process straight away for me. So, you know, it's hard to think of everything, isn't it? You know, to always go on a different side of the page, or, you know, things like that. So, yeah, you're going to have a bit of overlap where you think, oh, maybe that wasn't the best thing to have done. But, you know, I just think this is quite a good way to you know, shake it up and get some variety. Right, so I've got this page now. This is from my Bee's Knees kit, and yeah, I'm just going to put some of this on because again, it's that pretty peach. So we're just having that nice flow of colours and things going through, you know, oops, you know, which will then be really nice once we get working in here. So let's just check where we want this. Maybe have this, yeah, maybe on here. And let's just tear that down just slightly, like that. Okay. So the other papers that I've used, this paper here, this is actually a new kit as I'm filming this. It may have been in my shop for ages by the time that I finish filming all of this and put it up, but yeah, I haven't got a name for it yet because it's not currently in my shop. So hopefully by the time this video goes up, it will of course have a name and it will be in there, but at this point it's not in my shop. I haven't even quite finished creating that kit yet, so yeah, I can't tell you, I'm afraid, what paper that actually is. And the same with the other paper that I used. That also is hopefully going to be in my shop, but it might not, you know, this paper, that it might not be in there yet because I'm really struggling to make that one come together. So yeah, it might not be in there for a little while, but it might be. So again, just going to tear this down. And yeah, this is the Bee's Knees. It's been in my shop for some time now, so this is definitely in there. Okay, so we just have this, I think, over here. Okay, now I did notice as well, I don't know whether anyone else has noticed this, you know, I'm very much more random with my shapes that I'm tearing in. A lot of my pages in the other journal, you know, they were entire book pages or entire sheet music pieces, and so therefore they, you know, they were quite squared off. They had sort of squarer edges. I've not really been doing that on this one. But yeah, I don't think it matters. Right, okay, so that's those. Right. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to start adding like some little sort of pockets and tucks and things like that. So I've got here a bunch of the gorgeous bits from Taperology that I was sent. So I've got loads of these little bits here, which are kind of like labels, and they are going to make fantastic little clustery pieces. So I've got some in sort of blues and I've got some in beiges. My eyesight's not brilliant, so I can't actually tell. I think that is a darker blue, but it could be green. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of pull in some of those. Oops, like that. And we can hopefully make some sort of clusters and things like that from those to just have hanging around. Now, on my original one, if I pull that back in, we had lots of clusters with just stickers and, you know, just really random stuff going on. And yeah, I wouldn't mind kind of doing that type of thing. I'm not brilliant at doing that type of thing anymore. I seem to have, again, you know, got out of the habit of it. And, you know, that's very easily done, isn't it? We just, you know, get out of the habit of doing things. And then it's hard to get back into that habit. But I've got some of this paper, which is from Taperology. And how gorgeous is this? And of course, it's in that pretty peach colour. So I'm thinking definitely this is going to be really nice to kind of layer up and put with some of these bits. So just going to pop some of these here. Oops, pop some of these down with some of these bits. Okay, oops, like that. Oh dear, like that. And then let's get some more. Okay. Put that one there. And then this one. So perhaps this one we will do like the reverse, so we'll have it more in the background of that, like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? Right, so we've got some little clustery pieces. So yeah, shall we just make a few little bits and pieces that we're going to pop into this journal? So I'm just going to move this to one side. So we've got some clustery bits here. Now, again, we're going for very scrappy. We are not, you know, we're not going to be ordered here at all. So I've got here some old top of mine. It's got some of that gorgeous like pom-pom trim on the bottom. So let's just take some of this, because this is going to be fun in this journal, I think. So yeah, let's take that. Now I probably could have done with dyeing this, but I've not done that. So that's fine. We're just going to tear some down. Oops. I also used quite a bit of denim in my original one. I don't think I've got any denim here handy, but yeah, I mean, we maybe could use some denim. So I'm just going to pop some of these bits on like that. Okay. And maybe, that one maybe like that. Hope it's all in frame. Okay, let's have a bit with the pom-pom trim, because I absolutely love the pom-pom trim. So yeah, well, we might have the pom-pom trim just on the pages, actually. That might be quite fun. We might have some of this just on the pages, so let's keep that to the side. Now, brought along here that gorgeous book, which I'm sure that we've made, oops, made some other things with this, or I've definitely done a video, but again, might not have gone up yet. But this is a, it's an anniversary album book, but I couldn't resist buying it. It's got some of the most gorgeous images, and of course they're going to look really great in this journal. So I'm just going to tear some of this down. Let's try and keep with similar pages. So yeah, okay. Put that to one side. So the beauty of this is it's obviously plain for journaling on the back. I think what I might like to do is, yeah, let's tear down some of this so that we can have some of this as a sort of scrappy, like a sort of belly band pocket. So we've got that one, and then this side here as well. Like that. Okay, so we've got those two. These obviously are really gorgeous, aren't they? So let's have those, like the flowers, that we can then just have attached to our little clustery bits. So we can just kind of have those tucked onto our little clusters. So I might have to tear that down a bit. Okay, like that. And this one, okay, so yeah, like that, I think. And we're just going to staple these together because that's how I kind of did my original, was lots of just stapling. This one here, shall we make a little pockety tuck piece from that? Again, don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but yeah, we can see. And this piece here, of course, is just lined paper now. So let's just tear that, or cut that down, sorry. Like that. It's a brilliant thickness. You know, these are quite thick pages, so it's nice and sturdy. And I'm thinking we can just have this as a little sort of flippy tuck. Not a tuck, a flippy, you know, fold. So we can just have it like that, glued onto a page, and that can just then fold back out like that. So yeah, we've got a few bits that we're making already. And then this one, shall we have, just deciding which way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it straight down the middle, like that. Okay, and straight down here, like that. Okay, and then what we can do is have just a little sort of foldy piece like that. Okay, so that's rather nice, isn't it? So we've got a few pieces there going on with that. And yep, let's just cut that down here to the side. So, I mean, I'm being very, very, very rough and ready, very random, you know, very, you know, paying no attention to what's going where. I'm just literally, you know, anything and everything on here. So, just going to staple these together before they're moving around too much. Okay. Like that. Ooh, and then that one, which has now come away from there. So just again, staple that in. Staple this one. This one here, which I love because it's kind of on the reverse. So yeah, let's go to the edge. Did I have another one? No, that might be it for the moment. So I'm just going to move those to one side. And then what have I got left from that page? Oops, what have I got left? Oh, right, okay. So here what we could have is, again, we could just have a little sort of piece here with a fold. Yeah, with maybe a little fold. So we'll just do it like that. I mean, obviously when we come to use these bits, we might change our mind, you know, that's fine too. And then this one, let's just do like a little kind of corner piece. And then here, oh, that's like lost its identity. It no longer looks like a flower. But anyway, let's just do a bit of rough tearing down there. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we might kind of decide not to use this bit, but we have options at least. And then I've also brought along these lovely pictures because I had a lot of these types of pictures in my scrappy one, and I thought we could use some of these. So I'm just going to pick a few. I mean, how gorgeous is this, for example? So let's just take this one. Just take that and cut that down. Oops. like that. Okay. Then we have got that one. I don't know if that's that nice, but anyway, let's just include it rather than waste it. Okay. Like that. And what other ones do I have? So yeah, I've got these. Oh, this is where then I come to the point where it's like, oh, I really like them all now. Which one am I going to use? Well, I probably prefer this one. So yeah, let's just go in here. Put that one down. Oops. Okay. Right. Looking good. So I've got a few kind of other pictures there that we can use. And then, of course, you know, because I've now got mainly printables, I've got loads of other things, you know, laying around here that I could also pull in. So, you know, potentially I've got lots of different bits and pieces that I could, you know, could also pop in or pull in if I want to. So, yeah, we can just kind of then include a variety of different items. Also got some words and things, so we can definitely use some of those. So again, let's just tear a couple down here. I'm going for the scrappy look, so I'm going to just tear those like that. Okay. So I've got the word journal, got here the word notes. Okay. Like that. Oops. Okay. And I probably will ink those. So, yeah, let's just ink these up. Okay. Now, what I probably should have done as well was obviously inked, not inked, you know, coffee dyed these images here. I haven't done, so I'm just going to go around them with some distress ink, which will hopefully, you know, sort of age them a little bit and make them look a little bit less bright and sort of in your face. So like that. Okay, and then the next one. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. And then this one, which I absolutely love. Love this image. Gorgeous, isn't it? So just ink around there. Yeah, that's just a lovely image. Right, okay, so then obviously these are too flimsy to be using on their own, so of course I want to kind of back them onto something. Now I've got some of those Taperology papers, so I'm just going to see if I've got some paper that might be suitable. I've got this, which is rather lovely. That's quite nice, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I might just even put something like that on there, and then, you know, I might even just fold this over and have this as a little pull out. I'm not sure. So let's just glue this one on. Okay. Sorry about that horrible noise that the glue's making. Okay. Oops. Picked up the word. And then what we might do is, you know, just have this as a little foldy piece. So like that, and then just fold this one over here. And then just probably, just for good measure, we should just take that down there like that. From around the corners, you know, if you fancy. But I'm thinking also maybe just pop some of this fabric. Oops. If I can get it started being torn. Yep. down along that edge. So how lovely does that look? It's just a really, really cute way to finish that off, isn't it? So yeah, let's just put some fabric on there like that. Okay, so like that. Loving how this looks so far. And again, just, you know, maybe just distress around the edge, just so as it looks a bit more kind of vintagey. Again, you know, don't really care if I distress a bit onto the fabric, that's all fine. And then just distress around there. So yeah, really, really nice. Like that, okay. And then just pop some more down on there. Okay. Yeah, that looks really, really nice, doesn't it? So, you know, we're collecting, or, you know, gradually kind of forming quite a bunch of little bits and pieces here that we can use. Just going to bring my album back in and just see if I've got any pages that I could use to back these onto. No, I haven't. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? I thought it might have had some fly sheet, but it doesn't appear to have. Oh, it's got a massive pocket here in the back. Let's just have a look. Do I want to use, no, okay. So yeah, that's probably not the best. I've got some of my numbers here, so I might include some of those in a moment. Let's just have a quick look here. So I've got some of my Pink Lady kit, but yeah, I think this would maybe look quite, oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look on there? I love that. So yeah, you could definitely have that on there. Or, oh my goodness, that's just going to be one of those images. It just looks fantastic everywhere you put it. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind it either way, actually. Maybe I will have it on this side so that then the back is more, you know, plain for journaling. So let's just pop this one down. Okay. So I just kind of had printed off, you know, I had a lot of bits laying around on my desk, and I thought, well, actually, I'm going to double side them. So I just printed off some of my invoice headers onto the backs, so that I've got then, you know, things that can potentially be used as journaling cards. So just take this, cut that down like that, okay. Like that. Yeah, love how that looks. And then here, just got this little sort of section where it just says the year 1925. So I'm just going to take that. We might have that popped on somewhere. So I'm thinking, like here, we could just have that as a tab, like that. How gorgeous is that? So, I mean, literally, we've kind of, oops. Oh, I've run out of staples now. So, right, I'll have to dig out the rest of my staples to finish this one off, I think. Just check whether I have. Oh no, there are still some staples in there. I don't know why that's not working then. Right, okay. So let's get that working. Yeah, I mean, how gorgeous does this journal card look? And we've just literally pulled it together from scraps, really. You know, from kind of junk that's just laying around on the desk. So, you know, very, very quickly and easily, we've just kind of thrown it together, but it looks so gorgeous, doesn't it? I mean, it looks just as good as a journal card that you could have taken like half an hour to make. So it just goes to show sometimes, you know, if they're pretty things, just putting them together in any old way. Oh, I'm going to have to muck about with this after the video, so I do apologise for that. I shall do that after the video. So we've made a good start on bits and pieces for our scrappy journal. So yeah, I will come back and we shall do some more work on this. But yeah, I hope that you like it. I hope you like the start that we've made. and you can kind of see where we're going with it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.